I just got home from the gym and I look like shit and I feel like shit, but I wanted to sit down and I wanted to talk to you guys because I've just had a really weird fucking day. I've had a really weird day, and if it sounds like I'm whispering, I absolutely am. Um, so today, my husband and I. Oh, okay. Let's start from the beginning. I had an insanely bad night. My son's blood sugar kept dipping really, really low, and I'd have to run downstairs and give him something to make it come back up, and then it would be within like a safe range for like 30 minutes, and then it would immediately drop back down. Um, so I was up, down, up, down, up, down the stairs all night, and then according to my Fitbit, I got like 2 hours of sleep, which is believable. And on top of that, my puppy was crying all night in her kennel, and I kept, I tried to put her in bed with me, and she was just flipping, flopping. She's a giant horse. If you follow me on Instagram, sometimes I post her on my story. She's a horse, and she is so fucking unaware. She's so unaware of her size. And she kept kicking my husband, who had to get up early to go to the doctor. And I was like, girl, so I ended up taking her and I put her in the kennel in my bedroom instead and put her blanket over top of it. And she finally ended up falling asleep. But by the time that she fell asleep and calmed down, I had to get back up and look at Dee's insulin levels. And then it was time to get him ready for school. And then I had to go get my car legal. Which we went and did. And it's not a big deal. I know every time I'm like, I got to go to the BMV, everybody thinks the BMV is like the DMV, and it's not. My husband, we're in and out, got the title, got the plates, everything. And like, I'm not joking you. Just Midwest things. And like, I'm not joking you, like 10 minutes. So, we come home and we try to take a nap, and I get up and I decide I'm going to go to Big Lots, which I know I'm an American and I get stuck in this like American way of thinking that like everybody knows what's going on and everybody knows what everything is. It's like this closeout store where they have like everything. They've got groceries and clothes. They have like an awesome selection of like fucking Halloween shit. And I like to go there because they always have really good selection of like keto friendly stuff, low carb stuff that I'll buy for D. And I wanted to go get him some Quest cookies. And yes, I do that for his insulin ratios. For those of you who are wondering, when I give him low carb food, it's not because he's on a ketogenic diet. It's because he is a fucking type 1 diabetic. So he needs to eat low carb, or his blood sugar spikes. So I'm there, and I got there around 2. And I spent about 30 minutes poking around. I just went and looked at everything. They had all these cute Mickey Mouse kitchenware things, and my friend from work is getting ready to move into her house, and she's fucking obsessed with Mickey Mouse. So I was taking pictures of it and sending it to her, and I was looking at the groceries, and I was scoping out the rugs because I need a new runner rug for my living room. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna buy this in a couple of days. Picked up some stuff, got some protein bars for my husband, got some Quest cookies for my son, went down the makeup aisle, looked at the Halloween decorations, and the whole time I'm just going up and down the aisles. Every fucking aisle that I went down, there was a guy standing in it. And I was like, all right, Shay, it's fine. It's a coincidence. It's fine. It's a store. That's fine. Maybe he's just looking at the same shit as me. Maybe, he's here for the same things. Maybe it's just that this is a fucking store. But every aisle I went down, there he was. There he was. There he was. When I was looking at the wall of Quest and Atkins shit, he was standing beside me. And yeah, have you ever had somebody stare at you and you can feel it. You can feel it. That's how it felt. And I was like, I'm done. Like, I had so much more shit I wanted to look at, but I just wanted to get the hell out of there and get away from him. So, when I tell you guys, I'm not trying to sound mean. I'm not trying to shame anybody. And if you look like this is not a personal attack. But this man looked like every stereotype of a serial killer. that ever existed, just wrapped up into one giant creepy fucking package. He had like long for a guy, I guess. Was that kind of harebrained a little bit? But like where I live, most guys have really short hair or like shaggy hair. Well, his hair was like as long as mine. Um, and sandy blonde and greasy, and he had it like slicked back where you could tell he just kind of pushed his fingers through it. He had the fucking Jeffrey Dahmer glasses on, like the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses on. He had this nasty, dirty t-shirt, black t-shirt that had like shit all over it, dirty jeans, and I mean just like every like things that you see in movies, things that you see in TV shows about creepy people, about serial killers and kidnappers and shit like that. So I'm like, okay, you just watch a little too much too true crime shit. You watch too much true crime shit. Get it out of your head. So I go to check out, and he follows me to the register and gets in line behind me, and I'm like, oh my god. And I wanted so fucking badly to say something to the cashier, because I looked at her and she had a little Baphomet pendant necklace on. She had a little skull choker. She had lots of eyeliner and a black shirt and these cute little pigtails in her hair. And I'm like, okay, this is my bitch. This is one of my people. I can say something to her. And I was scared to fucking death that if I said something, he was going to flip out. He was going to flip out. And my husband, like when I was telling him about it, he was like, so fucking what? Let him flip out. Better safe than sorry. So I just sucked it up. I was like, okay, you're 33 years old. You're the size of the Jolly Green Giant. You're 221 pounds. You got this. You can fucking do this. So he gets in line behind me, and the guy in front of us was having trouble with his card. It kept getting declined. So he was fucking around with that for a really long time, and finally he goes through and it's my turn, and she's ringing me up, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get my shit and I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. It's 2 o'clock, 2:30ish in the afternoon. It's broad daylight. It'll be fine. I hear the cashier behind me ring him up, and it comes up to like $1.06, which is $1 plus taxes. And I'm thinking, you were in here the whole fucking time that I was in here. You were in here the whole time that I was in here. You went down every single aisle that I went down, and you got one thing for $1. That's a cop out purchase. That is a cop out purchase. That is something that you bought simply to get in line behind me. And am I being paranoid? Maybe a little bit. So I decide I'm going to park my ass right outside the door. I'm going to park my ass right outside the door. I'm going to stand there with my cart, because the last thing that I want to do is walk to my vehicle and either one, have him come up to me, approach me. Two, let him see me in what I drive, like know my vehicle. Or three, have him follow me home. Or, the other two. That's the last thing that I wanted. So I'm like, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to wait for him to go past me and he can leave. And then we'll see what's really going on here. Because if he walks past me, he gets in his vehicle and he leaves, then it's all pure coincidence. None of this is what I think it is, right? There was nobody outside. There was nobody outside. There was me, and he walks past me, and he gets in the most, I'm talking fucking Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers truck. I drive junk. I drive a 2005 and a 2007. I'm not shading anybody, but this was like, it just stereotypical creepy fucking truck, So he gets in it and he just sits there. And I know he saw me looking at him, because every time I looked over that way, he was fucking looking at me. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what am I going to do? Because I know if somebody wants to do something stupid, they're going to do it day or night, public or private. It doesn't matter. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to wait for people to show up. And then this lady walks out with this little girl. And then this old man walks out and he's got his arms full of like Thanksgiving Day wreaths or something. And I'm like, okay, this isn't good enough. If something happens, these people can't help me. So I decide I'm going to wait. I'm like, okay, should I call my husband? But I also know that if you're on the phone, it doesn't fucking move people. In fact, it a lot of times shows people that you're intimidated by them. It shows a sign of weakness. It definitely shows them that you're distracting yourself from what they could be doing. That is their, window of opportunity. Oh, they're fucking around on their phone. Let me go in now. And I had to learn all this shit when I lived in Florida. So finally, these two cars full of shit ass kids. I don't know if they were teenagers. I don't know if they were college students. I live in a very, very small college town. Could have been a mixture of both. They come screeching up because we're right across the street from the football field. And they're all getting out and they're doing the fucking Midwest thing in the parking lot, just talking to each other, making all kinds of noise. And I'm thinking, they're definitely going to look at me. When I move around groups of young people, they're wherever I am, they're looking because I'm covered in tattoos. I wear black, yada yada. I'm fucking huge. So they always look at me and I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to get to my car and these kids are not going to be watching me. They know that I'm here. They have seen me. If something happens, they're going to see it. I took this opportunity to fucking fly to my van and start loading my shit in. And the shittiest thing was I had one bag of like groceries, but I had 3 cases of Coke Zero. So I was like trying to load it into my van as quickly as possible. And these kids were kind of blocking them in a little bit. So I get in my van, I'm starting it up and I'm getting ready to peel out of there because I know he can't just plow over these kids. I hear him trying to start his truck because I'm getting ready to pull out my van. I hear him attempting to turn the key and the key is not turning. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, he is following me. So the Big Lots is about 10 minutes from my house. I spent about 20 weaving through my tiny ass town in case either he got his truck to start because I didn't stick around to find out, or he was like calling or texting somebody telling them what I was driving. I spent that whole time just weaving through the streets of my town, and I thought, I swear to God, if something happens, I'm pulling into a police station. I'm pulling into the hospital. I'm going to the fire department. I'm going somewhere extremely public with people that can do something about this. Scared to death. Scared to death. I know what to do at night. I know what to do at night, but I don't know what to do during the day. And then I get on TikTok and the first thing I see on my For You page is this man talking about how his daughter works nights and kept coming home with zip ties on her door handles because her car was being marked for her to be trafficked. And I'm like, I don't know. It's just been a weird fucking day. It's just been a weird fucking day. And it was scary. And I better never deal with it again because... But at least I know the guy's... I know the guy's name or face. I know what vehicle he drives. He's a very distinct fucking character. And there are moments like this that I wish that I used Facebook. But I also know at the same time, there's been so many people in my tiny ass town that have made up stories like that simply for attention. They'll be like, oh my God, I was walking through the Walmart parking lot and this person walked by me and my kids and they looked at my kids. So I think they were trying to kidnap them. And the thing with me is there's a lot of people that are like, when you get to a certain age, you are less likely to be trafficked. I don't believe that, but also nobody around me can tell that I'm 33. Everybody around me thinks that I'm 25. I at work, I had somebody say, I'm about to be old. I'm pushing 30. I said, I just turned 33. And they were like, I never would have guessed. And I get that a lot. I get it in real life and I get it online. So I'm like, the whole argument of, when you hit a certain age, blah, 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 that's completely invalid. And even if it was valid, the people around me can't tell how fucking old I am. But anyways, it was weird. It was weird. There was other things that happened today. And I just, hopefully, I will just say, my son had his first day of school they did a staggered start, which was where, they broke up the kids coming into school by 1/4, and he went to school on Thursday, and then he started full time today, and nobody gave him his medicine the whole day while he was at school. And by his medicine, I mean his fucking insulin. I was watching his Dexcom, which is a little robot, as he calls it, in his arm that monitors his blood sugar 24 hours a day. And I was watching it while he was at school, and it was high the whole fucking day. He gets home, and I said, "Oh, buddy, did somebody give you a snack or something that you weren't supposed to have, you know?" And he's like, "No, nobody gave me my insulin. They said I didn't need it." He needed at least 4 units. They didn't give it to him. So, hopefully, please send good vibes. And if you're into it, prayers that I don't go in there and absolutely lose my shit on the people in charge of his care, because not only does that show non compliance on his numbers, it fucks with his A1C. And we have an appointment on September 8th where we are going to be discussing him getting an insulin pump. So, and if they look at his numbers and they're high too much, they're going to say, "You're not feeding him the right foods and you're not giving him enough insulin. So you're lazy." No. So I have to send a giant email to his endo and explain what's going on. And I have to find some way to communicate with the school that you cannot do this. You cannot do this, because I will pull him and do online homeschooling before I will allow you to wreck my 9-year-old's health. So that's something that I'm dealing with as well. But anyways, I just wanted to sit down and talk for a minute. I have all these videos planned this week that I really hope that I can get into. And can I tell you guys something? You know the reason I haven't been uploading my outfit of the day videos? I gave my dogs stuffed animals and they completely destroyed my backyard with them. And I've been cleaning it up and they keep re-destroying it with things that I don't know where they're getting them. So my backyard... That's why I haven't. I need to find an area of my house that I'm comfortable filming in. That, because I don't want anybody to see the inside of my house, just because it's just a privacy thing. I need to set up a place, maybe in my garage, maybe in my basement, where I can film my outfits, especially whenever because the weather's about to get shitty. So I can start uploading my outfit of the day videos again. But that's surely what it is. There are stuffed animal guts all through my backyard, and then I clean it up, and then they get more, and I don't know where they get them from. So, but anyways, I'll see you guys. I have a couple videos planned this week that I want to get done. My goal is to upload 3 times a week, even if that means Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if that means Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, if it means, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It is what it is. We got to go by my mental health, my physical health, how I'm feeling, how the baby's doing, how the family's doing, everything like that. So I do have some boots coming in the mail in a few days that I wanted to unbox that I ordered for my birthday they just now shipped. So anyways, I love you guys. Bye.